Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a very windy day here in northern New Mexico. Um, I did some testing out, and it doesn't appear to be affecting the microphone. It's coming from behind me, but you'll certainly hear it. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm sitting on the deck of my new home. Those are the mountains behind us and a beautiful clear sky. So I entitled this meditation, The World Inside. And as you're joining, please by all means just say hello. I'm not familiar with you. Let me know where you're listening from. And also, if this is the first time you have dropped into one of my meditations or satsangs or my Healing the World gathering, please let me know that. It's always good for me to see new people showing up. Like, share, share with everyone, and I think most people who have been involved with spiritual are thinking and our disposition and our conditioning determines the quality of our experience. But it actually goes deeper than that. The, the teacher, spiritual teacher Muji, often says there's one earth, there are 8 billion worlds. The world you're walking through, we all assume that we're walking through the same one. And on a very fundamental level, we are. Right? we are. It's kind of like we're all looking at the same thing, but nobody is looking at, is seeing the same thing. I mean, any object at all, just pick up any object in your room, and you're looking at it from one particular point of view. Even somebody standing very close to you will have a slightly different point of view. Now, this is true for all of the experiences of our senses, but there's a whole other dimension to it that really does convince me that the world in which we each individually lives is inside of us. In between the the point of cognition, you might say, the point at which we actually cognize something in our environment, that information that has struck one of our senses has traveled through a significant number of processes before it ends up in what you would say your experience. The machines have actually gotten sensitive enough that they can register that, and that there is, in fact, a very short period of time. It's less than a second, but it's still a measurable period of time between when some event strikes your eyes, for example, and it's recognized by you, which means this recognition of the world is always the past. Always. I mean, it's the very slight past for sure, but it's always the past. You never experience the present, this moment, through the senses. The sense of now, this moment, is completely within you, is completely within um, in consciousness. Now, what's more stunning about that is that the decisions we make are actually following the same line. Every decision where you feel like I've made a decision actually happened before you even cognized it. This is actually true. I mean, it's earth-shattering, and you don't hear it on the media, but it is deeply significant event that has been measured and studied, and it's real. Let me do it for you in slow motion. This is what really happens every time you're making a quote unquote choice. Okay? For instance, I'm going to raise my hand now. That's how it actually works. The hand goes up, and there's a cognition that says, I'm going. The impulse to raise your hand actually happens before you're aware of the impulse. I point these things out to help us break down these concrete, solid, unmoving concepts we have of the world, which is not solid and unmoving at all. It is a continuous flow. Included in all of those layers of things that are going through are adjustments to the actual sense experience itself. For instance, the eye doesn't actually see what you see. The eye itself sees a very pixelated version. It's fuzzy. It's very fuzzy around the edge. It's a little clear in the middle, and right in the middle is a black dot, where we are all literally blind right in the middle of our eyes. But you don't see that because it's all been filtered out. The information has been added. So the image you actually see in your mind is not what your eyes are seeing, which is pretty stunning to behold. On top of that, because of our experiences, our memories, our traumas and wounds, um, all sorts of different kinds of stories and interpretations of what happened based on our assumptions and our beliefs get added into the picture. So that what actually appears to our cognition is not just an image, but an entire narrative, an entire story. And we call that story the world. And we really believe that this sense I have, this image, this construction, this narration going on in my mind, is in fact the world. Now, if you can get interested in that, in what I just said, even a little bitty bit, even a tiny little bit, you're going to start recognizing and start questioning your assumptions about them and question your assumptions about yourself. We are together in a very introspective time, a time where we're really being invited to step out of life as it used to be, step out of the world as we believed it to be, and truly begin to examine the world inside. Because in fact, it's orders of magnitude larger than the world outside. And it gave birth to the outside world, not the other way around. The inner always drives the outer, which means the deeper you get into the reality of your being, the more harmonious the world becomes, because the world is your projection. So I think I'm going to start into the meditation now to bring you into the world within. Those of you who are just joining, I'm just about to start into the meditation. Please, by all means, say hello, tell me where you're from, and especially let me know if you are new, if this may be your first or an early encounter with me or one of my meditations, satsang, or the Healing the World event. Somebody did make the comment about a distorted image. It is possible. One of the things that has happened as a result of the pandemic is a huge spike in traffic on both YouTube and Facebook and all the servers and the internet in general. So it's very likely that what has happened is that in order to compensate for it, YouTube will reduce the resolution and therefore you're going to end up seeing a picture. There's nothing I can do about it. YouTube is doing it. So there's nothing I can do about it. So let's begin to settle in. Let's begin our meditation now. Hopefully the wind isn't too distracting. And don't worry about the those of you just joining, don't worry about the image. That's YouTube's doing. And perhaps Facebook. It might be better on Facebook. It depends. They just kind of arbitrarily reduce the resolution in order to handle the bandwidth, which is at all-time highs. So again, as we start into the meditation, I invite you to put all questions aside. And if a question or a comment arises, that an impulse, you want to make a comment during the meditation, don't. Wait till after. Comments and questions during the meditation are really the mind trying to distract you from the most important thing you could be doing at any moment. And that is going deeply within yourself. The world inside is actually yourself. So close your eyes. Relax your body. Intentionally bring your breathing to more depth, slower. Really consciously breathe. Notice the breathing and consciously choose to just slow it down. Deepen it. Take your time. When you do that, you're telling the body it is time to withdraw attention from the outside world and put it inward. To find the world inside, of which the outside world is but a reflection. And as your breathing slows, you'll notice how the body begins to respond to that. The human nervous system is a brilliantly reactive mechanism, but it is totally reactive. It can only be hyped up or stressed when it is fed information that gets it hyped up and stressed. But the moment you close your eyes, consciously breathe, and allow your attention to turn within, all of that information that it was reacting to has disappeared. And so the reactions will begin to slow down and dissolve. You can notice the wind. It's just picked up quite a bit. I would pick up and move, but if I do, I think I'll lose all the sound. So let's just stay with it, as long as you can hear me. The wind in the background is just fine. It's better than the noise of the mind in the background. So now as you're settling in, the body is beginning to adjust to the shift in breathing. Allow your attention to turn even more deeply within. By within or inside, I mean you, the sense of yourself without the normal thoughts and concepts and memories that we usually use to define ourselves. Notice that there's a very real entity, sense, that is aware of the breathing. There's something that actually consciously instructed the breathing to slow down and deepen. There's something that consciously is aware of thoughts and is choosing to turn attention away from thoughts. There's something aware of all of the sensations and the emotions. And how you can turn your attention away from those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions. No agenda, not trying to get rid of them or push them away. We're simply turning our attention. Like a radio playing in another room, it doesn't engage your attention. And you notice that the more you withdraw attention from the flow of experience, the more quiet it gets inside. More accurately, it's coming upon like a pool of quiet, stillness that has been within you the whole time. This capacity of ours, this power, this presence that allows us to witness experience is not tied to or governed by experience. It is deeply profound that there's something within us that is aware of all experience. Aware of all experience. Even a beep on a computer. I want you to try to turn your attention towards that which is watching or witnessing experience. See if you can. Now we talk about it as if it's an it, something that is witnessing experience, but isn't that you? Whatever that might be, it is somehow different than thought, emotion, and sensation. Somehow different than the body or the mind. Isn't that amazing that that's you? Whatever that is, it's clearly you who are perceiving all experience. When you step outside of thought, the story, the narrative, which includes memories, it includes all the stories you have about yourself, the self-image, all concepts. You've stepped out of the world, all the story of the world, into this place of not knowing. Experience is happening. It's effortless. But without reference to the world, to thought, to experience, there's just this feeling of being and an unmistakable awareness that you are aware. There's many names for it: consciousness, the I am, the self. There's thousands of names for God, the ultimate, the logos, the first principle. But very simply, it is the sense of I, the sense of your own being. Isn't it remarkable that the entire universe appears to you? Without you, this conscious awareness, there wouldn't be a universe. We can imagine it existing without a consciousness to view it, but that, of course, is an image being viewed by consciousness. This is the ground of your being. This is the real world. And it doesn't just live within you, it is you. Not the you you've known, the thoughts and ideas, the beliefs and assumptions, your race or color, your gender, your age, none of those characteristics. Because those all come and go, passing in front of this conscious beingness. This is you, unmixed with anything else. And this is the source and substance of the entire world. I invite you to allow this inner quiet, this inner effortless beingness to enter into your everyday life and thought, to permeate and colonize your entire nervous system, harmonizing everything it touches. Because through you, the harmonization of your human experience, by means of its connection to the actual source of its being, that harmonization will continue outward. It will radiate outward. It will bump into the radiation of others until it transforms the entire world. First, transforming the world inside you, and then the world out there. As we get ready to come back from this meditation, let me just add that this sense of being, notice that it never stops, it's always there. It is timeless and immortal, and it is the ultimate power in the universe. Nothing can stand against it, because nothing really lives outside of it. You take a nice deep breath. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. When you open your eyes, hit that like and share button. Let me say hello to Ava and P.S. How beautiful you have here. Yes, it is quite beautiful here. P.S. is from Germany. Dale says, hello, GP. Congratulations on your new home and the next chapter of your life. Thank you. Anna Maria from Poland. Dave Scott from Philly. The Tesh Home 85. Hello from Mexico. My neighbor. John in Ireland. Rosario. Dorte in Denmark. Julia in Brooklyn. Sophie in England. Some comments about the distorted picture. It may still be. Sometimes it clears up as it's going. I will hang around for a few moments here to answer some questions or listen to some comments if you'd like to make or something you'd like to ask. Now that my move is complete and I'm beginning to settle in here, I'm going to start doing my workshop series I was doing called Healing the World, which I'm now calling a Healing the World Gathering. I will start it up again tomorrow at, 2 o'clock Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Greenwich time, 7 p.m. in London, and noon here, 11 o'clock in Pacific time, in Washington, where I was from, where I was living. And it'll be similar. I'll be talking about what we can actually do to heal the world, how we can overcome our own cabin fever. I've even noticed outbursts. People are feeling kind of angry and frustrated. There are deeply spiritual ways in which we can address this, and I will be starting that whole series up again tomorrow. If you're on my mailing list, you'll be receiving, you may already have received it, it went out just a few moments ago, the email about announcing I'm restarting it, and inviting everybody to stop in. So if there aren't any questions or comments, or if for some reason they're not getting through, I'll give it a few more moments, but I haven't seen any coming through, so I may I'll bring it to a close if that's the case. Just gonna let one more moment or two pass by. And once again, thank you to all who have been donating to the cause. It's very appreciative and very necessary right now. Some more equipment, is getting old and on its last legs, and so I'm going to be having to replace some stuff pretty soon. So, well, no more questions or comments. I guess I will bring it to a close for today. I won't be doing one of these meditations tomorrow because I will be doing the live event, Healing the World event. And so until then, thank you all for joining me, and namaste.